Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well. This week, I'm gonna start with a story time before I get into kind of the topic. But before I do my story time, I do want to say just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional. I have not gotten a master's degree in psychology or anything like that. Everything that I talk about is my opinion, years of trial and error, and research that I've done. But again, I'm not an expert. This is just, me sitting down, chatting, and kind of throwing some ideas out there that may help you, may not. You may disagree, you may agree. That's just how life kind of is, isn't it? And I am going to try super hard not to fling my hair around. I know as I was playing back last video, every time I would move my hair, I'd go whoosh. I'm going to really try hard not to do that. It's a nervous tick of mine, so please just kind of bear with me. Anyhow, so let's roll right in. So story time. So a few months ago, sadly, I was at home. I had some friends over, and I had a wee bit too much to drink. Maybe a little bit more than a wee, but definitely, enough. And me and my friend, we were sitting there on my couch, and we were just sitting there talking. And sometimes when you're drinking and you just kind of get to that point where you're chatty. Well, my chatty turned into a crying hysterically and just asking her repeatedly, why am I not enough? Why am I not enough for this person or that person? What's wrong with me? Why am I not enough? And the next day, after praying to the porcelain god and kind of, thinking death sounded better than how I felt, I decided it was time for me to explore those feelings. Why do I feel like I'm not enough? Why am I basing my self-worth on how other people value me? So one day on a walk, I was walking my dogs, and I do a lot of thinking and self-reflection and whatnot when I'm walking. It's perfect time because it's quiet and it's just me and the road. So anyway, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, why am I not enough for myself? Why am I basing how I feel about my worth on other people? And I was thinking about how long have I felt like this? How long have I been basing how I feel about myself on other people? And I realized I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. One of my personality traits is I'm a pleaser. I like to make the people around me feel good, and I don't want to rock the boat. I'm not great with confrontation. I'm not great with it, but I'm working on, I'm not working on being confrontational, but I'm working on the boundaries that I'm willing to allow people, with people. That was horrible. That's not a very good way of explaining it. I'm just working on boundaries on what I'm allowing people to do in my life and what I'm willing to give to other people. And that kind of, it all stems from, feeling enough, right? I mean, honestly. But anyway, like I was saying, I've kind of always been like that, I mean, I've always been the straight A kid, the kid that, tried really hard not to get in trouble because I wanted to please my parents. I wanted to be the good kid. And well, that would be another story about what happened after I turned 18, maybe on another day. But, long story short, when you're not feeling enough and you're basing your self-worth and your self-esteem on how people value what you're doing for them, you're setting yourself up for failure. If your self-worth and your self-esteem comes from the service acts of service you were doing for somebody else, you're never going to be happy, because unfortunately, people are not programmed to just like go, oh, hey, yeah, you did this for me. You're awesome. Thank you. I mean, not that people don't thank you for things, but people are human and they let you down. And if your self-worth and your self-value is based on other people and how they feel about you and how they perceive you, you're going to be let down, and you're going to end up feeling small and little and not worth a whole lot. Your worth has to come from within. And when you're having those thoughts of, I'm not enough for that person, you should really examine that. Like, why am I allowing that person's feelings to dictate how I feel about myself, how I speak to myself, how I feel about myself? If you're allowing people and their feelings to show you how to talk to yourself, to show you how to feel about yourself, you have got to look at that. You have got to examine that, and you have got to change that. Your value has to come from you. Your value has to come from knowing that you're extraordinary, that you're unique, that there is no other person in this world that can do what you can do. There is no other person in this world who can show up the way you show up, that has a gift that you have to give to this world. There may be 4 billion or trillion or how many, I don't know the exact number. Somebody please tell me. But, there are a vast amount of people out there, but there's only one of you. Only one of you. And you're special, and you're unique, and you're amazing, and you have a gift to give, whether that's being a mom, a teacher, a doctor, somebody who makes videos and sends them out into the world, whether that's a health and fitness coach, whether that's something as small as you got up today. We all have things to give to this world, and we all have value. We all have value, and our value can't be determined on how many likes you get, how many people follow you, how somebody in your life reacts to you. It can't come from that. It has to come from within. So I encourage you, in a moment where you're feeling not enough for somebody, to really sit there and go, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling that way? Is it valid? Like, is there some validity to this? Is it completely absurd? Do I need to change that thought process and say, oh, wait a second. I am not whatever they're saying. I am not that person. And that's their issue. That's their feeling. That's how they're feeling. That has nothing to do with me. Or am I feeling this way because this is something that I want to work on for myself so I can feel better? There's always going to be people out there that, don't agree with you and, have a certain way of thinking, but that doesn't mean that thinking has to be your self-talk. Remember that the things that you say and the things that you feel about yourself become who you are. So if you don't want to feel like that anymore and you want to feel like you're enough, you need to tell yourself, I am enough. I am special. I am unique. I am awesome. I have a lot to give, and I'm me, and I love me. So just remember, you are enough. You are special, and you are amazing. And thank you so much for watching today. And if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything, please leave them below, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.